What's up, guys? Another episode of Pixel Effect here. I had did this video once already. I'm redoing it again because it was too long. And honestly, it was okay, but I didn't like it too much. It's like 20 minutes. But anyway, I wanted to do a quick video tonight about Kickstarter because I know a lot of you've always showed, some of you have showed kind of like fear, and I've had some friends and like in person show fear to backing stuff. I'm like, guys, it's not that bad. And there's some misconceptions and stuff like that and doubt, but there are a few things I look for personally before I back anything, and maybe this can help some of you if you want to ever back something. There's a few things to look for. I've backed over 18 projects on Kickstarter, not counting Indiegogo. I've backed stuff there too. But anyway, let me just run through a few things, The first thing you have to ask yourself, is it something you really want? Make sure whatever you back, it's something that you yourself are going to use a lot. If it's a book, make sure you're going to read it a lot. If it's a game, make sure it's a game you honestly want to play all the time. Like Shantae Half Genie Hero. When it first came out, I played the heck out of that game. Most of you know that. I loved it. I love Half Genie Hero. There were a few other games I backed that I didn't play as much, but I still enjoyed them from what I got out of them. Bloodstain, I backed that. I enjoyed it. It took a while to come out. The original release date, unbelievably, for Bloodstain was 2017. As many of you know, we didn't get that game till this year. That's insane. Like, my God. And Shantae did the same thing, where they said it was going to release like earlier than it came out, because I guess you run into bugs, glitches, you gotta fix things, and it takes a while to get all that together. But anyway, make sure whatever it is you're backing, it's something you're going to want and really need. Don't sit there and back something and then you're out $100 for something you're not going to use that much. Next, make sure you're backing something that the person has a well-detailed goal on what they're going to do for this product and with this product. Like when Shantae came out, we had a good idea of what they wanted to do, the stages they wanted to add. We didn't reach every goal. They originally wanted like animated intros like they have in Shantae 5 or the Seven Sirens, They originally wanted that in Half Genie Hero. We couldn't get all those goals, but they had a clear vision of what they wanted to make out of this game, and it was pretty good, Other games, not so much. Mighty Number 9. It had a somewhat good idea of what it wanted to be, but when it came time to it kind of fell through. We weren't sure on what all their goals were going to be. It was a lot of misinformation, a lot of stuff we didn't know. Things like that you want to be wary about. Make sure they have good rewards. Seriously. I know sometimes funding causes you to only, like the company only offer the bare minimum of what they can. But make sure, for one major thing, make sure if you're backing something you really want, make sure they include the product. There are some products or Kickstarts I see out there that don't even include the game or product you're backing for. There is one, I forget what it is exactly right now. There was a game I wanted to back, but when you read the description, you actually were just backing to get the product off the ground. You weren't going to get the game itself, and that was just a no-go for me. I said, what's the point of that? Why would I back something if I'm not going to get it? Make sure whatever you're backing, you're going to get. And that being said, make sure whatever you're backing is not crazily expensive. Now, in the case of some things like, say, a 3D printer, you're looking to spend over $300 if, you're going to have to spend it to get something like that. But a game, usually games, you should not be spending no more than $20, $30 for a copy of the game you're kickstarting. Now, when a full game comes out, it may cost more, but usually Kickstarter should be a little bit less than what like regular games that come out from like big companies end up. So like say a $40, $50 game on Kickstarter should probably be around $20 to $30. Anything more, you're better off just waiting for it to come out. At best, you may get it a week early or something like that. But if it's the same price of a regular game, I'd watch out for that. And make sure there's not too much fluff in between goals, or rewards. Sorry about that. Usually the first reward for any Kickstart product, even on Indiegogo, is usually just going to be a thank you. It's like a thank you email to you or something like that, saying, you know, thanks for helping back this. Or you can even give a donation. The next usually should be the product itself. You know, if there's a lot of stuff in between that thank you and the product, just go for the product. Be careful. Don't go for that fluff stuff in between. You know, that's just for them to make extra money. Just go straight for the product. Like I said, don't overspend on something, and make sure the rewards are what you honestly feel they should be worth. Take for instance Bloodstain. I got the collector's box. In it, you also got an autograph, but the autograph version of that reward was $300. Granted, over 2,700 people backed that version, so that means he had to personally sign that many copies of the game. That's insane. I can understand that's a lot of work, so I can understand why maybe it's a little bit more, but still, usually autographs, I would not normally pay that much, but you got so much more with it. You got a CD, you got the box, you got a t-shirt, you got a poster. Now, if it was just an autograph, definitely a no-go. Don't ever pay somebody $300 for an autograph. That's just dumb, you know. So never do that. And okay, that's pretty much it on that. I was going somewhere, I forgot where I was going with it, you know. Make sure that if they meet their goal, make sure they're being frequent with their updates with you. Wait4 was good about that. They kept us updated with what they were doing, you know, and there wasn't any hidden plot or any like backlash from a lot of stuff they did, you know, unlike say a game like Mighty Number 9. It had a lot of issues with its community because they had hired somebody who, you know, who messed with some of the characters' designs, I believe, and there was a lot of drama around it. You don't want that with a Kickstarter. Make sure they're frequent with what they're doing. Like Bloodstain, it was set to come out 2017. It got pushed back horribly, but they kept us updated. They gave us a demo to kind of tide us over. They gave us updates what they were doing, and then they came back and graphically changed the game. And that was one reason they got pushed back. They changed a lot. It looked a lot better when they finished because there was a lot of issues with the game originally, and they fixed a lot of that stuff, you know. They're still working on some stuff for the Switch, but they fixed a lot of the stuff they originally started out with. So make sure there's that. Make sure they don't take, if they take long breaks of updates, that's when I kind of get a little weary. Now, if you're too deep into it, like say Bloodstain, they got slow towards the end before it came out. That's understandable because you're so far into it now, you can't back out. So you might as well enjoy the ride. But if it's at the start and they just go silent, you know, for a few weeks to months, I probably want to look at taking my money back. You know, I don't like those kind of games, you know. But yeah, make sure they, you know, give you good news. Next, do not start another product until you finish the one. Make sure you don't back something until they finish the one their own. Sorry, I had to cut that off again. AC kicks on like that. I have actually backed a few products in the past and make sure they finish the first one. You know, originally I backed Red Ash, and as some of you know, that was a nightmare. It came upon the heels of Mighty Number 9. I guess they got greedy and they saw how quickly Mighty Number 9 took off, and they said, let's throw this out there too. And so they threw Red Ash. I backed Red Ash. They also had an anime version. The anime version actually got funded and produced. The game itself flopped horribly, you know. But one reason for that is more than likely because they haven't even finished Mighty Number 9's Kickstarter before they started this one. So make sure they finish the first one, because if they do this, that means they're getting greedy, and more than likely one of those two things are going to fail. So be careful about that. And even though MN9 finished, we saw how big of a mess it was. Yeah, some people enjoyed it, but that game was a mess. And the last thing with Kickstarter, just know you won't be charged until the product succeeds. I have products I'm looking at right now on my Kickstarter that didn't pass, that I never got charged for because they failed. Kickstarter set up as, unless they get 100% of the funding, say if they only get 99%, then you won't be charged. It's all or nothing. If they can't make it to 100, nobody gets charged for anything. You know, it has to make that goal. So don't worry, you're gonna get charged. If you want to put $100 in something, and if it doesn't make it, you're not gonna get charged for it. Indiegogo, on the other hand, it is you pretty much have to pay up front what you want. I backed like Dragon's Lair and Earthworm Jim on there. Some book products from both of those, I got charged up front. So like say Earthworm Jim, I put 100 into it, I got charged the same day. So Indiegogo kind of loses out in that way, that you're pretty much just throwing your money saying, let's go, let's hope we get this. Kickstarter, it's like, here's $100, but unless you get 100%, you're not getting anything from me, you know. But Kickstarter can be good. I've found a lot of good products on there just by chance, you know. So I check it out. Bloodstain, honestly, I found that by chance, you know. Some days it's nice to go in there and just browse, especially comics and games. There's a lot of good stuff on there. Another section I like to browse is animation. You don't really see as much anymore. There were a few things like a few years ago that were pretty big projects I wanted to back. They never went through and they failed. But there's some pretty good things on Kickstarter. There's a few technology products that come out every now and again that are pretty interesting. But just knowing the tech industry on Kickstarter, you're gonna be paying a lot more for that product. But sometimes it's good just to look and see. You may find something interesting, you know. You may be surprised yourself. You may find something like a little comic you may want to collect, you know, that you didn't think anything of it, and you buy it. I mean, I had backed Salvadora. You know, I didn't even know what that was until I got on Kickstarter and I followed the artist on Twitter and everything. It's a pretty good little book, you know. Just get on there and browse. Indiegogo's the same way. Indiegogo usually though, I think they stay open a little bit longer than Kickstarter. Like Kickstarter, once it hits the goal, it stops right there, you know, and closes off. Once it hits the deadline, I think Indiegogo stays open a little bit longer after the goal date's met. I can't be for certain. I think for some reason I've seen stuff on Indiegogo just stay up for weeks after it's supposed to end, you know, to collect extra funds. Kickstarter ends right there. But yeah, get on there and look. Like I said, I've backed over 20 things on Kickstarter. Several things, like 6 projects I've backed failed. But yeah, get on there and check it out sometimes. It's pretty good. But if anybody has any questions about Kickstarter, or if you want to check something out, just let me know, and I will do my best to answer it. But that's pretty much it. I also want to say I want to play Seven Sirens so bad. I just cannot justify buying an Apple product just to play one game, because honestly, I don't care for Apple Arcade. The only game I want to play on it is Shantae. So I can't justify spending $100 just for one game, you know. I want it so bad. I've been playing Iceborne. My God, it's so hard, but so fun. And that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think of some other stuff. I'm trying to get some more videos out this weekend of some other games. Crash, probably. I'm going to try to get Nina Cortex and some other characters this weekend and record them. But besides that, that's it for right now, guys. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. So have a good night and keep rocking.